All right, welcome back. So how is the presidential election on February 16th likely to pan out? The election will, of course, take place across the country and, of course, across the 6 geopolitical zones. So in our analysis, we shall narrow things down to the geopolitical zones of the country. Joining me for that analysis now, I have Otumba Femi Karena, who is the chieftain of the People's Democratic Party and, of course, the head of media and publicity of the Jimmy Agbaje Campaign Council in Lagos. I also have Comrade Ayodele Adewale, a chieftain of the All Progressives Congress and the former chairman of Amu Ward of in local government area of Lagos State. Gentlemen, thank you very much for coming on the program. And Otumba, you must be looking forward to this presidential election.
Definitely, definitely.
And what do you expect to see?
Definitely, I expect our candidate to win, Atiku Abubakar, for different reasons. The scenario we had in 2015 definitely is not the same thing we're having today. And other people might have other views about it, but what we had 3.5, 4 years ago is not what we have today. So I know Atiku will win.
Comrade Adewale, you think the scenario is different now and that things are in favor of the PDP?
The scenarios are very different. The people are more informed. The people have seen what the APC have done in terms of bringing prosperity to them, in terms of making sure that budgetary allocation for infrastructure is brought upstream. People are now seeing railway moving around them. They're seeing road network being built. They're seeing more energy being generated. They're seeing microeconomy being developed. They're seeing a lot of purchase in the security circles, and so many good things are happening.
Oh, okay. Now, I mean, let's get down to the nitty-gritty of this, and we're talking about business. Now, we'll be looking at the 2015 results. There you have a breakdown now of not the 2015 result, but in terms of registered voters. For these elections, we understand we'll be having over a little over 84 million voters. In 2015, 67 million. There you have it, over 67 million voters. Accredited voters, 31 million. The total number of rejected votes. And, it's always the case that you have this huge number of voters, registered voters, but on election day, people actually don't turn up because you look at the number of accredited voters there, 31 million, and you consider the fact that the total number of registered voters is 67 million. Do you expect that, Otumba, do you expect that things will be different this time, that people of these over 84 million voters would have now, that close to 60% of the registered voters would come out to exercise their franchise?
That's obvious anyway, because the awareness is so much. You know, you go to churches, you go to mosques, you go to schools, they will tell you go and get your PVC. And considering what people are going through, definitely, everybody wants to be counted. And you can see, I think you have a margin of about 20-something million voters,
yes, exactly,
that have added to the register that we have. So there's no doubt about it, and definitely people won't have such apathy that they have in 2015, in 2009.
Do you share that opinion?
Well, like I've said before.
I mean, because you've run election before.
Like I've said before, people are more informed. People are more informed. You have so many informative platforms that we are using right now, and especially the youths. They are more gingered towards making sure that the development that they are seeing now continues, toward making sure that the hope that they've hinged to is not let go, toward making sure that a lot of things that have been budgeted for are implemented. I can assure you that the votes you see here will more than double at the end of the elections.
So you expect voter turnout to be quite massive.
Definitely.
Now let's, whether we like it or not, I mean, the 6 geopolitical zones, very critical, and this election will be fought across the 6 geopolitical zones. Of course, I mean, these 6 geopolitical zones make up the country, but very critical. As politicians yourself, you'll be looking at how your candidates will perform across these 6 geopolitical zones. There you have them. You have the Northwest, Northeast, North Central, and of course, Southwest. Now, let's break things down further now. And, we take a look at the performance in 2015. In 2015, the Northeast zone, you look at the figure there. let me start with you, Otumba. Looking at what we have in 2015, of course, the APC won it in 2015, polling over 2 million votes to the PDP's 796,588 votes. What do you think would be different this time when you look at the Northeast and you look at these states now making up the Northeast? Of course, your candidate is from Adamawa State. And the last time the APC won that state.
Let's take it from the zone.
Okay.
My candidate is from the Northeast.
Yeah, he's from the Northeast.
And there is this perception in Nigeria about keeping what you have. He's one of us. He's our own. So what we had in 2015 will be definitely different from what we're having now. Personally, I've been to Taraba, I've been to Adamawa.
Taraba has always gone to the PDP, and the PDP won it in 2010.
So
you believe the PDP will win it this time?
They are keeping Taraba. And definitely, Yobe, Borno, Bauchi is definitely coming back to PDP. Gombe, even though we have a governor there, but I still see a 50-50 thing there. So out of the...
So you are saying, I mean, just look at the figure, what the APC polled in 2015
it doesn't
in
matter.
Bauchi. 900.
We have a speaker that is from there, that is PDP man now.
A lot of things have also happened.
I know that.
Quite a number of your members have defected. Top members have defected.
So I'm looking at those scenarios, and definitely this is a no-no. What we had in 2015 compared to what we're going to have in 2019 is definitely a no-no. So Yobe, Borno, Bauchi, Adamawa, Taraba. Gombe, maybe 50-50.
Well, I'm surprised that you're talking about Gombe, where you have a governor who's a PDP, and you're not looking at Bauchi, for instance, and this area. I'm talking about Borno, for instance, where the PDP got just 25,000 votes.
Let me give you a scenario about Borno. Borno today, they've had more casualties than they've ever had. So definitely they've had it to the brim. You have people coming in from the neighboring countries.
They've had more casualties in the past 3 years than they had before.
They have ever had. So definitely they've had it up to the brim. And they're definitely going to switch. And you could put your money on that. That's why I keep saying,
okay,
Yobe, Borno, Bauchi, Adamawa.
Just hold your thought there. Let me get your own take on this, because it's quite surprising that Otumba would say Bauchi, for instance, because I'm very particular about Bauchi. When you look at the margin of victory for the APC in 2015 there, it's so wide, and in Borno as well, quite wide. Yobe, same thing, and then he's saying that
because the scenario is not the same.
Yeah, exactly. So,
well, I don't know where it's getting assertion from. I will take Borno, for example. Yeah. If you go look at the billboard of their candidate in Borno, you will see him also putting President Buhari's photographs there. What does that imply to you?
You mean their presidential candidate? Or
their governorship candidate. Go and look at it. Most of his billboard, you see President Buhari's face on it. Now, if you look at this demography that you have shown us right now, I will tell you that most of these numbers, all of these numbers are going to double in favor of the APC. Particularly looking at the infrastructure that has been provided for the people there, looking at the trader money that has been given to small income earners there. Look at the educational improvement that they've gotten. Look at how we have degraded Boko Haram, particularly in Borno State. Look at the wonderful work that the governor of Borno State has put into play. Look at the amount of people that even came out during the rally and the connectivity that they have. During their own stay, in Borno State and Yobe State, for instance, there were so many towns that were locked down by the Boko Haram. We don't have the same situation right now. A lot of people have gotten the opportunity to get their PVCs and they are ready to vote.
I have to ask you this, because, this is the result of the election in the northeast of the country when your party was in power. I mean, the APC was in the opposition, and the APC was able to beat you across, across the zone, fair and square, so to speak. And now you are in the opposition, and the former opposition party is now, the ruling party, and it has a candidate that is, has a cult-like following in the northeast of the country. You still think...
There's a scenario playing now that wasn't around in 2015. It was North versus West. I mean, North versus South. And the scenario today is North
versus North.
You understand? So that brings us at par. I'll take what's mine, you take what's yours. Now, traditionally, there are three kinds of voters. The traditional voters, whether the man is Mr. A or Mr. B, they are going to go with the party. There are people that believes our lives hasn't gotten any better. So we want some kind of change, the way the change came in 2015. Then you have the plebeians, who goes where the opinion molders say they should go. So if you divide what I've said, we're talking about over 50% that PDP is going to get from the Northeast, because their life has not fared better. That is very clear. The Borno that he mentioned, for Christ's sake, Boko Haram must stay coming in from the neighboring countries. It's evident, it's all over the place. Without
how crucial would it be now for your candidate to win Adamawa?
He will win. He cannot lose.
He would
definitely. Definitely.
Okay. Let me help him. Let me quickly comment.
Don't help me.
Look
talk for yourself.
The president is from Katsina.
Absolutely.
Northwest?
The president is from Katsina. If a Katsinan man could pull this amount of votes,
he wasn't voting there.
It tells you something.
No.
That the people are not
voting. The governor of that state is controlled by the APC.
But check this out. When this result came out, Atiku himself was with APC.
Absolutely.
So I'm saying it's not about Katsina.
But then you go back to 2011 as well. I mean 2007 when Atiku actually contested. He lost in Adamawa as well.
Well, that's very clear because he was in what I would call not so...
Let me also help to bring history back to bear. Atiku was in APC, but he never added energy to that election. Go and check it out. The only thing he did was to support with some materials, and he was a sitting duck. No. He was never at any of the rallies.
No,
not even the Adamawa rally. Go back and check your footage.
That he did not...
He was not there.
What was your party doing?
He was not there.
So what was your party doing?
The campaign was run fully by the Buhari machinery.
Okay. Anyway, we'll see how the election pans out in the northeast of the country. But you know, let's go over to the northwest zone now. The northwest zone. You think is a battle zone? Why? Why do you think is a battle?
It's very clear. This is where the president is from, and the sentiment when Buhari was contested in 2015 was so bad that even PDP guys from the Northwest will be telling me that they are going to vote for Buhari. And they are PDP people. And that's why I said this is the battleground. This is where it's going to win the election for us. Because
and you look at all the states.
I've seen it when you have 2 million in Kano.
They're all in the hands of the APC.
It doesn't matter. You need to know the dynamics of politics sometimes. And what you are seeing here, Nigeria will be shocked. Nigeria will be shocked. It's no longer Sai Baba, Sai Buhari. I've been to Katsina. I was in Katsina about 3 weeks ago. Go and see what's happening in Katsina.
So are you in essence saying that President Buhari may not be able to pull this number?
He cannot pull that out. He cannot pull this out in Kano because Kwankwaso is no longer with APC. Kwankwaso is back. These are the movers and shakers of the states.
Let me get your own take on this. Yeah, I mean the Northwest.
This is just mere science. This is mere science. You understand? All of the people he's talking about actually rode on the back of President Buhari into office, including Kwankwaso. They all rode on President Buhari. The last campaign that took place in Kano, you saw the mammoth crowd. You saw the mammoth crowd. These people believe so much in the Buhari ideology.
The PDP too has been attracting crowds.
They have their crowd. They have their crowd. In fact, their crowd are borrowed crowd. They are check it. They are induced. But this is a man that will not give any money. This is a man that believes in his integrity. And his integrity is working.
That integrity is not working.
Let's look at Kano. Kano is quite a critical state. I mean,
it is
very critical. You look at the number of voters there. Buhari polling close to 2 million.
This can't happen again. I mean,
what gives you that?
I'll put my money on that. This can't happen again.
Now, this is the issue. You look at Kwankwaso himself, quite a number of his lieutenants have left him. I mean, they've gone back to the APC.
No.
The former deputy governor of course, no, but that's true. The former deputy governor of the state who left with Kwankwaso is now back in the APC. Quite a number of them are back in the APC. So
what is happening in Kano today?
You're left with Kwankwaso standing alone. And then you also have the former governor of the state as well. I'm talking about Shekarau. Yes, pitching tent.
Now the question is, as far as Kano is concerned, as of today, if Buhari goes in there to contest, they will see the crowd. There's no doubt, you know, they know how to pull up the crowd. You know, they know where they couldn't get the crowd, but in Kano, they will get the crowd the usual way. We know, and he knows the usual way, they will get the crowd. But when INEC announces the result, don't be shocked.
Deji, you can't.
Don't be shocked.
You can't read where you're not popular.
It's not possible. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Is a testimony that you're popular amongst the people. And if the crowd can come
and by the way,
listen to
just some form of correction now, Sokoto has actually gone to the PDP because the governor there has defected to the PDP. So you think that would not work against your party?
The former governor is in the APC.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the former governor has always been the leader to the present governor. So we are still very intact there.
What are we likely to see in Kaduna for your party, the PDP?
Kaduna...
I mean, you look at all these states. What do you think you may have a challenge?
Kaduna. Jigawa, we're doing fine. Kano, we're doing fine. Katsina, we're home. Zamfara...
You think you can win Katsina?
Hands down. In the president's state.
We
had a by-election there.
That would be the
we had a by-election
anyway.
there in the senatorial district of Mr. President.
You didn't win the by-election.
We didn't win. But what does it imagine? That's exactly what I'm saying. In his own senatorial district.
So you think
for us...
Deji, I will want him to talk like this in the next 1 week from now.
No, I'll talk like... We'll be around.
Why are you particular about Kaduna? Why do you think you're going to have a problem there?
I don't say we're going to have a problem. I'm saying it might not be a total victory that I would have wanted to. The only problem we have there, the only advantage we have there is because El Rufai has not done well. But the sentiment here...
Not everybody will share that.
That's exactly what I'm saying. The problem we have here is that it's not enough for us to win.
Mr. El Rufai have done wonderfully well. Look at the level of the school enrollment. It has increased drastically. Look at the level of infrastructure that he has brought there.
Have you been to Kaduna lately?
I've been there. Look at the level of tidiness. Yes, you can talk about insecurity and all of that. Look at the way he dealt with the last insecurity issues. And nobody could say that he was actually swinging to one side. He brought total peace to that area. So for you to say that Mr. El Rufai have not done well,
you're not doing justice to the people there.
You're not doing justice to the reality
about
those are your people.
Not my people. They are people of Kaduna.
Those are your people. We don't expect them to say otherwise.
You understand?
And I don't expect you to say otherwise. But again, we will be very factual. We will be very factual. And Mr. El Rufai have helped to attract jobs. Look at the big companies that have come there.
But let me ask you, Otumba, do you... If the PDP, by any chance, loses the election in the northwest of the country, no, I'm just saying by just
they are going to
by
be
any chance,
if
they lose the way, if they lose the election in the southwest of the country,
southwest,
northwest of the country, would you say they would lose the election completely?
First and foremost, it's not possible for us to lose outrightly in the northwest. It's not possible.
But if that happens, we can confidently say the PDP would lose the presidential election.
No, we have to see what's going on in the southwest to compare with what is going on in the northwest. You cannot lose both. If you lose both, you might as well give up.
Okay, let's go to the north central now.
Let him talk.
Let's face it. Your party has a challenge in the north central, especially when you look at a state like Benue.
All the states,
Benue,
maybe Kogi.
And then, there's a challenge in Kogi, and then in Kwara, your big fish has actually gone back to the PDP.
Well, let me take it first from Benue. A lot of things that happened in Benue were hate speeches, and they were not factual news. And
just let him finish. I'll come to you.
A lot of issues that happened there were hate speeches and not factual news. At a point, the people themselves were telling the governor that he wasn't telling them the reality on ground. So I can tell you very well that we're going to win in Benue. Benue is out of the way. We're winning in Benue. If you come to Nasarawa, Nasarawa is a very strong hold for us too.
Yeah, because you lost to Nasarawa anyway the last time.
The governor this time around have done very well for his people. He has done tremendously very well for his people. So we're winning very well in Nasarawa State. Same for Plateau. We're going to rejig in Plateau.
Plateau, you lost
we're going to rejig in Plateau. The numbers are going to come up, particularly in Plateau, because one of their major problems in Plateau is in prison. And their people have also seen that they've been betrayed all of this time. And President Buhari have made sure that these people are accounting for their misdeeds. And if you come to the FCT, We're also going to do a lot there.
Kogi and Kwara?
You see, for Kwara, we're going to win in Kwara. You can see the taste.
Are you saying the Saraki factor would not count?
The Saraki factor doesn't count. The yoke has been broken. The people are free. You're going to see from the result that will come. The people are totally free now.
Otumba, let me get your take on this zone, the North Central.
In fact, he followed my hand. North Central.
If you can just move in a bit.
North Central, just from Niger, Kwara, Kogi, Benue, Nasarawa, Plateau, and FCT. One thing is very clear. There are 3 states in the North Central that they know they cannot get.
Which
Kwara,
states?
Benue, Plateau. Kwara, for political reasons, like you rightly said, they are big fish. Who used to be our man is back in PDP in Kwara. Put that aside. Benue Plateau, the herdsmen issue have killed these people. Whatever made the governor in Benue to decamp.
We know what made him decamp anyway. But
I mean, let's break it down. You understand what I'm saying?
Go on.
Now, the same thing can be said of Plateau. Clearly, Nasarawa, even though it's their stronghold, but we still won the last time. So if we won the last time and the scenario are different now to our own advantage, I don't know what he's saying. Maybe he's been watching too much Feeling Stone. I don't know.
If they won the last time, remember that they used the state apparatus against Nigerian people, especially the security apparatus.
Which you guys are using against us today.
You won Bayelsa, you want River State. We didn't use state apparatus against you, which is against the norm.
It was clear.
No, we didn't use it against you.
It was clear.
We are not going to even use it now. The people are going to vote for their conscience and they're going to vote for their choice. I can assure you that all of this place, we're going to win, especially Kwara. In fact, all Nigerians should be looking at the Kwara votes.
Honestly, Kwara is quite interesting because, the APC would appear to want to make a statement there. But, well, we just have to see. We'll wait and see how it goes because you just can't rule out the Saraki factor. But one place I'm very particular about, and I want you to take Kogi State. What do you think? I mean, the APC, of course, won Kogi the last time, but this time you think it's going to play out that way?
We're going to win Kogi. I can assure you we're going to win Kogi.
Are you convinced?
A lot of this information you got from Kogi.
No, I say things the way it is. I say things the way it is. I'm a realist. When it comes to Kogi, maybe 50-50. By chance, we may win.
We are going to win Kogi.
I face reality.
Deji, watch Kwara, watch Kogi. I will stake my integrity on those two.
The integrity is good. Your president
I will stake my integrity on those two. We are going to win Kogi, and we are going to win Kwara.
All right.
In addition to the others.
Let's go to the Southeast zone.
Let him talk.
No. I want you to talk. The Southeast zone, whether we like it or not.
It's a no-go area.
I would say we give it to the PDP.
It's a no-go area.
I will start from Anambra.
Okay.
We are taking Anambra off the slate. Remember that the present government...
You're saying that the APC will win Anambra after getting just 17,926 votes in 2015?
These people were not used to voting. They were used to writing results. That is a normal character.
In Anambra?
In the East.
No, I still don't say that.
I am saying it to you that go and check. They are Democrats, truly.
They do vote.
The people's votes are not allowed. The people's votes are not allowed to count. That is why you see a lot of apathy in the East. But this time around, the people's vote will count.
But what I'm saying, what I'm really worried about, look, 2015 to now, it's not a long time. It's a short time. And I'm just wondering, what do you think would have changed between 2015 and now? Because whether we like it or not, the Southeast has always been the stronghold of the PDP. And you look at the reflection of the results there. Buhari polling just 198,000. I mean, no doubt there's a chance that Buhari may get more than he got in 2015 in that zone. You know, there's a chance he might get more than he got.
Dreams.
But no, it's not impossible. It's not impossible. That's just the truth. But to say that, the APC would win.
Their leadership, they are PDP by face, APC by heart. They know very well that the APC have done more for them than the PDP ever did in 16 years.
You talked about Anambra. What other state do you think?
Anambra is going out. We are taking Imo, we are taking Anambra. In fact, we are taking everything. We might have some running battle with Abia, but definitely we are going to degrade that place and take it out. And
you think you can take Ebonyi?
Definitely we'll take Ebonyi out.
Well, I'm not going to give you my own opinion, but let me get Otumba.
Like I said, I mean...
And then the vice presidential candidate of the PDP is from the south.
The president governor of Anambra State is in alliance with the APC.
Like I said...
So Anambra is gone.
I try to educate my people. I try to educate Nigerians. Where I feel my party don't have a chance, I submit. Where I know and I'm confident that this neighborhood, this zone, we are standing 100% tall. What is giving him that impression is because of Obiano, which is the governor of Anambra State. But what you must also understand about Easterners is that they know what they want. They know what they want, irrespective of what the governor is saying. 2, the vice presidential candidate of my party is from Anambra State. So I don't have to be running my mouth. But as far as the Southeast is concerned, it's sealed.
Do you think President Buhari will be able to take at least 25% of the votes in some of those states?
I doubt it.
What he naturally would need, some people say, just pick 25%.
I doubt it. I doubt it.
All right.
Because it's total. It's total. If he gets 15, he's done good.
No, I'm just surprised that you think... you mean he wouldn't get up to 15% in each of the states?
If he gets 15, he's done a lot of job, a good job.
Okay, we're going to take a short break now, but when we come back, we'll be talking about the Southwest, which of course...
another battleground.
Yes, a lot of people have said it's a battleground and might decide the outcome of this election. And good, I think both of you are from the Southwest of the country. So we'll take a short break now and we'll be right back. On Deji360, we don't just ask the questions. What is wrong with amending the Constitution the way the National Assembly members have been doing it? We seek answers.
Constitution is constituent. Our problem is not lack of laws. Our problem is lack of the willpower to implement our laws.
Answers that provide clarity.
While we negotiate, we should try to make it a point that the girls must be complete.
The clarity you need to make informed judgment so that you can make the right decision and take action. People are saying it is you politicians that are responsible for this, that you are the reason why this is happening.
All these dollars that call themselves governors in this country?
I wish we had people like Tony at the National Assembly.
God forbid that I go to join that band.
Deji360, providing clarity to issues.